Welcome to Tomorrow's World Today, a show dedicated to the discovery of innovation and cutting-edge technology to be featured in the Park of the Future. The park includes 4 worlds. The worlds are inspiration, creation, innovation, and production. Each one will showcase the latest developments from the greatest companies and smartest people in the world. This is Inventionland World Headquarters. Here now is George Davison.
So George, ever since your visit to Sally Corp, I've been thinking a lot about different attractions for the park. Those animatronics you saw really got my mind spinning, and my mind keeps going in one direction: robots.
Ooh, robots. I love robots.
I know you do. The other question, too, will be, do we want to have a hands-on robot experience, or do we want to do something with robots in more of an augmented reality kind of way?
You're kind of going exactly where I was hoping we would go. We have robots in your future.
Yes.
And augmented reality and virtual reality.
Discovery mission time.
Now, there are 2 companies in this area that are really good. The first one's Kuka, and they make these really great industrial robots. And then we've also got Avatar, and they're at like the top of the game in augmented reality today.
Well, you know what they say. Have robot, will make travel reservation.
It's a windy day here in the Lone Star State, and I'm here at Kuka. Today, I'm at their R&D labs in Austin, where I'm gonna learn how robots learn.
What is this?
This is our robot lab. Isn't it amazing?
This is so cool.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Kuka.
Kuka is a automation robotics company. We actually have a really, really long history in the industry. We keep innovating, obviously, over the course of our company history. And in fact, where you're standing here is our latest research and development center, primarily focusing on innovative software to continue to deliver a new set of technologies and functionalities for our customers.
Who exactly are your customers?
We have a really long tradition working in automotive industries, but over the last 5-10 years, we've seen quite a bit of uptake in automation and robotics in new industries like electronics, entertainment, and even medical.
Very cool. So what exactly is going on here in this room?
We have a few different robots that are set up here, and we typically utilize these robots for software development.
Wait, question?
Yes.
Can I go play with a robot?
Oh, absolutely. Kevin, can you come join us, please? Yeah, so Kevin is one of our applications engineers, and he's gonna walk us through the KR Agilist robot.
Agilist, like agile.
Yeah, very, very agile. There are 6 different axes on a robot, so it could do a wide variety of different tasks, like welding, like gluing, like riveting. Any type of automation application that you could think of.
Cool, let's take a look.
Absolutely. So maybe let's take a couple steps back, just for safety measures. Kevin, can you set up the robot to pick up the water bottle, please?
Sure.
So this is called a bin picking or pick and place application. Imagine if this room were to be a huge assembly line. You need automation equipment to help you sort different material that's being flown through from one end of the factory to the other end, and also being able to identify where to place them and how to place them.
We teach the robot by teaching it specific points, where we want it to go, what to do there, what it needs to control in order to do those actions. We can even tell it how smooth to make the motions, whether stop in between or make it one very smooth, continuous motion. We can make it go faster if you'd like to see
Let's do that, yeah. Oh, wow, that happened fast. Speaking of automation, I do have to ask this question. You know, there's a lot of fear right now about robots taking jobs away from people, so I'm curious about your take on that.
Our belief is that robots are really good at doing tasks that is very tedious and dangerous for humans. And humans are actually really good at doing tasks that are difficult for robots to do. We actually prepared a little challenge for you with one of our robots over here. Are you up for a challenge?
Always.
So what we have set up here is actually a screw fastening challenge using the Agilist KR3. As you can see, we have a fastening gun ready to go, and what the robot's going to do is going to pick up the screw right over here and then place it in this block in front of it. We're gonna have Kevin turn on the robot, let the robot show you how it's done.
Okay.
And then we'll cue you up for the challenge. That sound good?
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
So would this be like akin to picking a screw up out of a bin, let's
Yeah.
say? Wow, it's really precise.
Yeah.
Now, is it magnetized? Is that how it picked it up?
No. At the end of this tool, actually, there's a bit. I have one just for you. So here's the tool that you're gonna be using.
All right, here we go.
Ready, set, go.
Ah,
Okay, the clock is ticking.
The clock is
Okay,
ticking.
wait, I just screwed it in. There's some very agitated cell phone customers in line right now. This is just one of how many are on here?
15 to 20 per cell phone, and I don't even know how many cell phones are being produced every single day. Robots to help the human to automate some of these processes was really, really tedious for us to do over a long duration of time.
Something else I'm curious about are the changing lights.
The lighting here is actually being utilized to develop a set of learning techniques. Imagine the design of the phone now changed. The placement of the screw would also change, but through learning, the robot will be able to identify the new hole location and still be able to perform its tasks. The lights here emulate different types of environmental conditions. So,
And why does that matter? I mean, it's a robot, it doesn't see.
well, in fact, we actually added a high-resolution vision camera to help the robot see where the tool is, where the location is, and using the learning techniques to be able to adjust itself. We're essentially combining the physical world and the virtual world to train the model and create a set of artificial intelligence for this particular application.
So what's next?
So we're gonna go check out a sensitive robot.
I think I may have dated a couple of those.
Oh, haven't we all? This one right here is what we call the LBR-EWA, and it actually has intelligent sensor in each of the joints, so it can detect any collision. If I stick out my arm and try to stop it, and the robot was able to stop the task.
Obviously, safety is a huge application of this. Are there other practical applications of this?
The other application of it is actually using this robot to hold really, really heavy tools, kind of like your extension, for instance. Imagine you're picking up an engine.
Oh.
So you could actually guide the robot to pick up any object you want and be able to place it to a new location. Do you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm really amazed at how light it feels. There's a really unique feel to it.
We also embedded what we call gravity compensation. We're mimicking what the gravity is doing, so the arm is actually helping you, assisting you.
Right,
because
so if
there's
I let
gravity.
this go, it's not just gonna...
Correct. It's not going to just fall to the ground.
I also sort of like the idea that it's kind of like my bionic arm and would let me lift things up and down that I could not do in real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
With all of the different robots that you've got, it seems like you're taking in a lot of data. How do you synthesize all of that so that you can move on to next steps?
We believe that software is really reinventing the hardware. And of course, we're going to continue to introduce new set of technologies into the mechanics, into the sensory systems. But software could really take us to the next level and help us to even solve problems that we haven't foreseen today. So should we go take a look at an example of that?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's do it. This is our first cloud-based technology and product called Kuka Connect. The ability to monitor the conditions and the behavior of the real physical system. Being able to extract a lot of these data and information from a robot is very, very important because not only we're able to understand what it's doing at this given moment, but we're also able to predict some of the maintenance things. So predictive maintenance is a big topic in our industry because we're trying to make sure that the robot run as efficiently as possible to minimize the unscheduled downtime, which will stop the production and lose money.
Now, I am curious, looking forward 5 years, 10 years into the future, if you were going to predict what's going to be new and exciting in the field of robotics, what comes to mind?
Oh, that's a really, really tough question. But what's really exciting now is you're really seeing a lot of different set of technologies coming together. Not just the robot, but you're looking at virtual reality, augmented reality, looking at new embedded sensors, new vision, new cameras. And it's by combining all of these different technology sets, we could help solving some of the problems that we don't fully understand today.
Thank you so much for taking time today to talk through all this with me.
Thank you very much.
You can't design a park of the future without first exploring augmented, holographic, and virtual reality. So today, I'm here in Huntington Beach, California at Avatar Partners. This company draws from the talents of a lot of different kinds of people, including a former fighter pilot and a hotshot mechanical engineer, all led by a successful technophile who just happens to be a woman. So tell me a little bit about the development of Avatar as a company.
Sure. I'm actually not an engineer by training. And the advantage of this is that I don't know what cannot be done. This keeps us on the disruptive edge of technology. We do what other companies say is impossible. Avatar Partners develops advanced training systems and job performance aids for the first responder, maintainer, operator, and the brave servicemen and women who serve our country. I'd like to introduce you to Scott. Scott is a former former F-18 fighter pilot, and he's going to show you how to maintain this aircraft.
She has really big goals for me.
Augmented Reality Maintenance Aid, or ARMA, is being used to help soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines repair aircraft, ships, vehicles, etc.
Videos are fantastic to learn how to do something. Augmented reality is the next generation of showing people how to do something. You're going to actually do an electrical system repair on this F-18.
This F-18, the model F-18.
True, but it's the actual repair that would be used on the real airplane.
I hope you're a really good teacher.
Don't need to be. That's the beauty of the company, right? Simplifying complex systems, our job is to make it so your job is easy.
The augmented reality system allows somebody with very, very little training to do a job error-free the first time.
Select components to view part information, or select play to start the troubleshooting sequence.
Oh my gosh, I can see the entire inside of the plane.
So do you see the blue dot? That's your mouse. I'm gonna teach you the mouse click. Hold your arm out in front, make an L, and then pinch like you're squishing a bug. That's it.
So, what do we do first?
Well, the first thing you do is make sure that there's no hydraulic or electrical power on. So double check those. Now what we're really gonna be doing is looking at the wire that has a problem. So we're gonna disconnect the plug from the landing gear control unit. Now we're gonna do a test. If you selected the first one, the second one is down by the landing gear. So select that. I want you to take a look first and take a look at the wire run. So it's gonna highlight the exact wire run. Exactly. So now you know exactly where you're testing. I'm testing from here all the way down to the landing gear. So in reality, we would have our tool set, we would have an ohm meter and check the electrical connectivity between here and here. So in this case, we've done the actual test and we found out there's a break in the line.
The use of augmented reality technology is only limited by your imagination.
What I'm going to show you next is what we're working on for school safety, using augmented reality to help you plan a school evacuation. We would plan our evacuation on a scaled size. We're one of the first companies to be able to put a 3D printed building together, then overlay an augmented reality system on top of that. Take a look at our representation of the building. We're taking a scaled down version. So we're at 1 to 6, and we can actually plan out where folks are supposed to go. What you're going to see is folks moving around the building and basically organizing themselves into lines and walking themselves room to room, and eventually leaving out the door here. Are you ready to do the actual size?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, but let's try it.
Okay, so I want you to bloom it up. You'll be able to select the actual size. And
Oh
now
my...
Now you're gonna get everybody coming up in front here.
Right, there's like life-size people in front of me right now.
Exactly, so now they're life size. So in the comfort of the school or in the comfort of our own homes, we can actually practice over and over again. What we're trying to build is a muscle memory, right? Practicing the same thing over and over in your mind's eye so that by the time something actually happens, it's not the first time or the second time you've done it, but you've done it hundreds of times.
Well, I know this is a product in development. I would love to know more about what goes into the development of a product like this. Get a look under the virtual hood, so to speak.
If you want to see under the hood, I've got to introduce you to Michael. He's our technical director and the brains behind this entire operation.
All right, I'm always up for meeting another brain. Let's do it.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to leave you in some really capable hands. This is Michael. He's our technical director.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
He was telling me that you could kind of give me a look under the hood of all this augmented reality stuff.
With all of our AR solutions that we've created here, there are 3 main concepts that we base the majority of our solutions on. The first main concept is referred to as Internet of Things, or IoT, where the things are the actual components that make up the system, and the Internet is the network that is used in order to retrieve and then ultimately distribute all of that data. The second largest concept that is part of our AR solutions is the automated analysis of that system data, and that's usually referred to as artificial intelligence, or AI. And then the third concept is what is the appropriate instructional display that supports the system.
So basically how to best communicate that information.
That's right.
The airplane maintenance program I was looking at upstairs, what kind of team do you need to actually make that work?
First and foremost, we are a training company. So our instructional designers are really the key of the personnel that's involved in creating stuff like this. But as well, we have 3D modelers. We use some technology that assists us with that, like 3D scanners, 3D printers. We also have graphic artists, quality assurance, technical writers, configuration management experts, project managers.
There's so many different points of entry into this kind of work. You have this very cool model on your desk. What am I looking at here?
This is a 3D print of the forward landing gear of the F-18 aircraft. The reason that we end up using a lot of 3D printed objects is because not all end users that are going to be looking at the augmented maintenance might have access to a full-size aircraft. What we were able to to do is we created 3D prints, scaled down versions of the same objects.
Yeah.
The majority of AR experiences that are currently being developed by companies use image targets to trigger their experiences. Barcodes, AR codes. One of the challenges we had, especially with the F-18 maintenance aid, is that we weren't allowed to physically alter the design of the aircraft by putting decals and stickers and QR codes over all the components. And that's why we went to object targets. The cameras within our viewing devices focus on the unique geometry of the system. In this case, the landing gear is an extremely unique geometry. Once the maintainer looks at that, our solutions automatically see that geometry and then place all of the augmented content in 3D space around that. To even go a little bit further, soon we will be able to not have any viewing devices at all. We are going to be using projectors to actually project the holographic image directly on the table within the room.
So that's where we move from augmented reality to holographic reality.
That's correct. You want situations in which your end user isn't holding a tablet or isn't holding a phone or doesn't have to actually put something on their head in order to view this incredible technology.
Well, that sounds exactly like the kind of experiences that George and I are hoping to bring to the Park of the Future. Do you think that's something you could help us out with?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go say goodbye to Marlo, and thank you again.
It's a pleasure talking with you.
Marlo?
Hi, Tamara. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I've had such a good time here today. I think I did okay with the aircraft. Maybe a little bit more time, but
Yes, good.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
So you're an expert now?
I don't know if I would use the term expert, but I certainly see how someone could become an expert with the program. I was really surprised at how visceral everything was.
It's visual, and that is the beauty of the next set of products that we have, which is the holographic augmented reality solutions. And you know, the idea there is it's essentially virtual reality in a contained environment. You have people all looking around a single scenario or environment without any goggles on, trying to figure out the best way to navigate through something. And with the hologram, it's just gonna come to life.
I think I need to come back and see this. Can I wrangle another invitation back here?
Absolutely. We'll be presenting this to some high-level folks very soon, so we'll have something ready for you whenever you're ready.
Excellent. Well, I've got to get back to Pittsburgh and George right now. Thank you so much again for taking the time to show me around.
And thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you in a couple months.
All right, sounds great. Take care.
Hey, George.
Hey, Tamara. How's Huntington Beach, California? And your trip to Avatar Partners?
Well, once again, you've managed to pick a high-tech winner. You know, you and Marlo, the woman who runs the company, have a lot in common. The word impossible does not exist in either of your vocabularies. They're doing some bleeding-edge work here with AR and VR.
Well, good work. Hey, I'm gonna need you back here at headquarters soon, because we're gonna be embarking on a new social media campaign.
See you soon. Gildan's innovative collapsing cube is making apparel better. They use this biodegradable plant-based container to ship chemicals, and when they're done with it, it can be composted. You can get value out of your own garbage by composting organic waste to add essential nutrients to the soil. This will make your garden better, and it'll make your tomatoes taste great. Saving water is essential for a healthy planet. At Gildan, they have developed systems for capturing the water vapor coming out of their clothes dryers, which is then condensed and reused in their systems. At home, you can save water and reduce impact by fixing leaky faucets, taking shorter showers, and capturing rainwater, which can then be used in your garden. You know, technology makes me kind of thirsty. Hey, George.
Hey, welcome back.
Fresh off the plane. So what was so important? Why'd you call me back so quickly?
I wanted to play the name game with you.
Come again?
The name game. It's time to move from Park of the Future, the working title. We need to really give the park a great name.
I thought we were going with Invention Land.
There will be an Invention Land in the park. It'll be in the world of innovation, but that'll be a smaller world inside this bigger global experience that we're creating. So we need a bigger global name. We have a branding expert. Her name is Lauren. She's gonna join us here in a few minutes.
You know what I say, the more minds, the better.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
What's going on?
Apparently we are playing the name game.
The name game, my favorite game. So I have been putting some thought into it, and I think that we should open it up and have our visitors and consumers help us choose the name of the park.
So we're gonna collaborate with other creative people on a global scale? Oh my gosh, what a great idea.
That sounds right up your alley, George. You know what I really like about that? Just through this exercise, we'll get a sense of what people are thinking about with the park, what they're associating with it, you know, what their impression of what we're creating is. And that way we can see if the message we're communicating is actually the message that's being received.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk process here for a sec. How do you see actually making that happen? Because it's a lot of people to get in touch with.
Probably what I'm gonna do is just create a page where our consumers can submit their suggested names for the park. We'll list the most popular names on a leaderboard, and then our viewers can help share them on our social media platforms.
Maybe, depending on the kinds of suggestions that we get, if we sort of lock onto some people who are super creative, maybe we bring them here to Invention Land and have a park brainstorming session with them.
Let them experience all the creativity that we have here. Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Let's get to work.
Alrighty guys, so essentially what we're going to do is we're gonna start a campaign called the Name Game, and we will share the campaign throughout the 4 worlds. So innovation, inspiration, creation, production, we're gonna share it.
I really like the idea of using the 4 worlds to anchor things, because that way we're gonna appeal to all different kinds of potential park guests. What do you think?
I love it, guys.
Awesome, all right.
Okay.
We can talk logistics, so we have a few different platforms we can use here. So we have Facebook, we have Instagram.